Hey there. I know I haven't posted a lot of videos in a while. I did do the zucchini video a couple of days ago, and that seemed to be pretty successful. That was well taken. I am going to do a live today because I don't know when I'm going to be able to push my next video. I'm working on it, but I just haven't had the time. So let's get started. Mr. Kraska, how are you? Thanks for joining. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So this was just quick because I don't know how they're going to be, and I'm a picky eater, so fussy, I'll say. I have some Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard from a previous video, and I've seen a trend seems to be going towards like marinating the chicken in regular mustard, like a French's mustard. Something like this right here. However, I have the Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard, so I figured why not kind of marinate it, or I'm not going to be marinated for any time, like the time, just popping it into the wings and adding some spices to it. Hi Julia, how are you? Thanks for joining. Just going over, instead of using the French mustard, as some do, I'm going to use the Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard as sort of like a marinating sauce. I don't know how it's going to taste. I have never done this before, but why not do it? Hey Neil, thanks for joining. Alright, let's get some of that on here. I know there's plenty in here. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but that looks like probably way too much, but that's alright. Okay. Now, I have a couple of choices for spices. I can just do a simple salt and pepper, which I usually do, or I can use the Montreal chicken. Anytime I've used anything Montreal from Grill Mates, whether it's the steak or the chicken, I find I have to put a lot more on there, otherwise I just simply do not taste it. So that being said, I am going to use my tried and true salt and pepper as well as garlic powder. No measuring here. Came up in a video, someone commented if I could talk about the ingredients and how much I'm using. I'm going to try to do better with that. However, for this, it's just, you're always doing something to taste, and that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to put some salt and pepper. And to save a little time, I'm actually going to preheat the air fryer for a minute or two. That might help this cook along a little faster. So I apologize for the background noise. Throw some granulated garlic on there. And you know what I haven't done in a super duper long time, or maybe never? So I'm going to throw a little onion powder on there. So this is going to be one bold set of chicken. This is more like a powder, it's not granulated. I don't know if it comes the other way, but granulated that is. So let's get that all in there. Ooh, that's strong. All right. And I am using gloves today because mustard stains like anything. Regular mustard, and I gotta assume honey mustard's no different. So I'm gonna try to keep my hands as clean as possible. Hey Suburban, how are ya? Thanks for joining. Now, like I had mentioned, I know some have stuck this in the fridge to let it sit for a couple of hours. For a live video, that's just not going to work. So I am just gonna rub the mustard in really well here. And again, I've never done this before. I don't know how it's going to taste, but I've seen a trend lately, and I'm trying to be more open to trying different things. So, my deformed fingers from the mustard, it's eating away at the gloves. All right. So salt, pepper, granulated garlic, onion powder, and obviously the Sweet Baby Ray's, and I'm tossing these gloves. Even came through the glove. It's like acid. Hey Kirby, how are ya? Thanks, Juliana. Mustard binder. Is that a term I'm not familiar with, Kirby? Sweet Baby Ray's. That's what I'm using instead of the regular French's mustard, just for the hell of it. As I mentioned, it seems to be a trend, so I wanted to give it a go. And everyone, I know I've said this before, please, my new Facebook page is up, so please subscribe to the Facebook or Instagram, whichever you prefer, and give a couple of visits and shout outs to my buddy Kirby and Suburban Barbecue. Okay, this has been heating for 2 minutes. I do not know if this is going to need any oil, but I'm going to give it a quick squirt. There's enough mustard on there, so sit it in there. I do not hear any sizzle, but then again, I didn't expect to. I wonder if I should have lined this up with my parchment paper. I use parchment paper less and less now. I just can't be bothered. But the cleanup is undeniably easy. So here we go. 400 and 13 minutes. We'll start with that. I'm going to do a quick cleanup and answer any questions anyone might have about the previous videos. I might have to bring me an air fryer. You know, air fryer, it's kind of an interesting thing in general. This is where I go off of my rant. A lot of people, some people buy cars say, yeah, air fryer, but I think more and more people are starting to realize how great an air fryer is. It's already a big trend and a hit now, but there's no denying, you know, how well it does with chicken wings and dogs and sausages and potatoes and fries, hand-cut fries. I have something coming up. I bought a new kitchen, I'll call it appliance. I bought it, wasn't given to me. No sponsors have jumped on me yet for anything, but I'm going to be doing that soon. I am going to use it on a couple of things. I don't want to give away too much right now. If you've paid attention to my previous videos or comments, you might figure out what it was. But as far as air fryers go, Suburban, I know, depending what area you're on, I have the GoWISE, I like it, but there are other great brands and better brands out there. BJ's has the Power XL on sale for $100 right now, but I do no longer think it comes with the divider in the middle or the sprayer bottle for like $100, but you can get this GoWISE, the newer generation, for like $90 or $92 right now. And the red and the green or whatever the other colors are, those are more expensive, a lot more expensive. So for me, you know, the GoWISE is fine. I've got some good feedback on the zucchini that I did the other day in the air fryer. I did it in the air fryer, I did it in the Breville, and I'll call it deep fried it on the stove top, and that was pretty good. So I don't like zucchini on its own, but I think I found a way to eat more greens. I don't see Janet on right now, but I think it's Janet always says, I want to see more greens on your plate. And I do broccoli, but I'm going to get away, and I don't know if anybody buys the BJ's Organics. The BJ's Organic corn is excellent, the sweet corn. It's just the loose kernels, not on the cob. Excellent. The broccoli, I've been torn on the taste. It's not the greatest taste. And one of the other viewers made a comment, I believe it was Ivy, the Happy List, check out her channel too. She kind of mentioned the same thing about it, so I'm gonna get away from the BJ's Organic broccoli, either try another organic broccoli, or I'll just go buy fresh broccoli heads or something like that when I know I'm gonna cook it. I don't know what everybody else's experience is with that. We've had this chicken in there for 3 minutes. We'll check it another 3 to 4. I do have a couple other things coming up. Again, without giving too much away, I find it hard to resist to tell people. But the meatloaf is coming.
I was able to pick up the cheese that I wanted and the spinach, and I still have not decided if I'm going to make that a live or not. I think I'd like to make it a short video, so I'll probably do editing, which means it's going to delay putting that out. Some of the other things, I do want to do a pizza in both the Breville and the air fryer, like homemade pizza. I used to make pizza dough back in the day. I think I'm going to try that again. My Breville, as well as my regular big KitchenAid oven, do bread proofing, so I'll be able to make some nice dough, because it was great making my own dough back then. So barbecue. I need two. Don't you have 2 air fryers, Kirby? 2 identical ones, maybe? I could be wrong. I thought you said you got another one, but I don't know. Maybe that meant you didn't have the other one anymore. Okay, the mustard doesn't smell as strong anymore, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. The one thing when you're cooking chicken, whether it's naked with just oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, or with the Kentucky Colonel, you can look and see that it's cooked. I don't know if it's going to be the same when looking at it this way, so we'll have to see about that. What else? Thanks for the barbecue. What else are I doing? I have so many things that I want to do. I have to make another 5 pounds of meatballs, but I'm not going to make everyone suffer through that again. We ran out of meatballs last week, so I will be cooking some more. I also saw, these look good, chicken cordon bleu meatballs. So instead of ground beef, you use ground chicken and use ham and Swiss, and you form it into the meatball and cook it. I'm going to do that. I also saw, I think it was, again, Janet pointed something out to me, and I'm trying to remember what it was, and I bookmarked it, and I think they're sticking on the fridge there somewhere. But some nice breakfast recipes for the air fryer that I'm going to be trying out, so that's going to be great. Hey Carol, how are you? Thanks for joining. I need an air fryer. So Juliana, as mentioned, I like the GoWISE. There's a lot of quirks with a lot of these. The GoWISE Power XL. The pans and the baskets are expendable items, so you will have to replace them at some point. Unlike the Phillips, which should last you the life of the product, the difference is the GoWISE is $90. The Phillips, even the XXL Phillips, and it's not digital, it's a mechanical timer, that thing's like $300. The DeLonghi is a good choice. I think if you click on my GoWISE link, it'll show you the DeLonghi as well. That's a favorite amongst many. There's a bottom and a top heating element, as well as a stirrer, so you can put things in there that can stir themselves. Again, the Phillips seems to be a good choice too, although expensive. And what do we have here? This has been in here for 7 minutes. Let's take a look. Ooh, that looks it. And I can smell that mustard. But I am going to turn this because I think it's ready to be turned. And it has built a nice crust edge here. There we go. I think some of that mustard melted off, but that's okay. So hopefully you can get a good look at that. Pop this back in. Oop. And I need to grab my other phone. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm not too bright. I had the phone in my pocket. I just didn't realize it. So Carol, I took some mustard. Wings seem to be a big thing, but most people use the French's or yellow mustard. But as you remember, I picked up some Sweet Baby Ray honey mustard, and I don't like honey mustard, but this wasn't too bad. So I figured, what the heck, I've seen everybody do it with mustard. Let me do it a little bit different. Split mustard, salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and some onion powder. I decided to add onion powder. My other choice was to use the Montreal chicken seasoning, but as I mentioned, you have to use a lot of that to taste it. And it scares me because I don't know when to stop, because it has to look like there's too much of that seasoning. But the steak seasoning is excellent. and I think that's what we're doing tonight is steak. I also bought, and this might be right up, oh, Carol, your message was retracted. I don't know what it said. Air fryer mustard wings. Oh, duh. So I also bought something. Let me show you. I bought some cast iron pans. So these were Wolfgang Puck. They were on clearance. I got both of them for 25 bucks. They are heavy, but I know it's popular with a lot of the barbecue guys. And I don't remember if it was Real Show or one of the other ones, but I am gonna, turn my boiler on, get that nice and hot, and on the stove top, they'll melt a bunch of butter in one of those pans, and they'll season up their steaks, and they'll sear them, top and bottom, and along the edges, and then once they got that, I'm gonna say bark or that crust on it, and I'm gonna throw it in the boiler and finish the cooking. And I want to do it because it's been like 90 degrees for 3 weeks straight here, and this week isn't letting up. And I got the steaks. I don't think I'm going to do that live. I haven't decided yet, but it's really something I want to try because it looks so good when they do it. And the pans, 25 bucks, so like 12 bucks a pan, but they seem really heavy and nice, so I figured that was a good choice. Juliana, I got those at BJ's. Those were the Wolfgang Pucks. They had an identical set with a different name. I can't remember, but they were both on clearance. In fact, they ran out of these, and the cardboard wasn't on it with the name, with the barcode, and I found it like buried. So Wolfgang Puck, BJ's, 25 bucks. Costco often carries the same thing, and they're usually cheaper in general without going on sale. But the BJ's is what I had nearby. I let my Costco membership run out because they got rid of their photo center. I'm a amateur photographer. And Costco has very good printing equipment. They can print really big pictures on site, but they closed it down, so I see no reason to renew my Costco membership right now. Other family members have it. Okay, that was in there 3 more minutes. I'm just going to take a quick peek. Look how quick that browned up. Now, as I mentioned, usually these are naked, and I can tell the temperature just by looking at them, and with these I can't, so I'm just going to pop this in there and see what I get for a temperature. I always cook my wings a little more because I am afraid of food poisoning, because I've been poisoned by restaurants before, or takeout places with chicken on 2 occasions. So for me, if you say, Mario, you're cooking it too much, well, there's a good reason for that. Getting food poisoning ain't fun, and it takes you out of commission for 2 weeks. So I'm going to leave that in there for another minute. Again, I only made 4, well, there's usually 4 to 5 in the pack. I was hoping there was 5, but I don't know if I'm going to like them. I'm hoping for the best. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Again, honey mustard isn't my favorite thing. I like regular mustard, and as I mentioned, my hot dogs, I always used to put ketchup on them as a kid. As time moved on, I would do half of it in ketchup, half in the mustard, or both, and then half and half, and I transitioned to mustard. Never liked Grate Poupon or anything like that. About a year ago, I was at Costco. I saw the deli mustard, and I said, I want to try it. And I've liked it ever since. So my tastes have been changing, so what the hell, you know? Let's see. Yeah, I was debating on the title because I've done honey mustard wings. So I'm going to change the title to Marinated Mustard Wings or something like that. Because I know people... Look at them. Look how nice those look. Don't forget to unplug the air fryer, folks. And let me get a picture here. If I can find the camera app on this thing. And Kirby, I'm still working on what I'm going to do about my presentation. I need to get... I do not like... This is my work phone. I'm using the camera on it just for this. I do not like the camera. I like my Pixel camera much better. Okay, let's get this off in here. Now, I might make a funny face eating this, but tastes change, and it might take me a few bites or a couple of wings to say, hey, that's not bad. And I've had this come up before. Some people ask, what's that color in there? That's just a Rachel Ray Trivet. I usually have 2 of them in there.
the two middle sizes, and that's just to protect the pan from getting damaged. I got undercooked chicken at the Outback once, and it freaked me out. It was pink. I didn't notice until after the first bite. Yeah, and I've had it happen with turkey as well, Suburban. So, you know. Yeah, David. Hey, David, how are you? So there are the wings. I'll take a couple of pictures here, if you don't mind. And this camera is really annoying me. But I gotta get some more light here. I think that's part of the problem, but it's not a problem with my regular camera. So David, I instead of using regular mustard, I used Sweet Baby Ray's, and I kind of marinated the chicken in it, and then salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. So I gotta find my glass. Where's my glass? Give myself some water, just in case. Gotta replace the filter in this refrigerator. It's going awfully slow. But the filters went up in price. It used to be 20 bucks. Now they're like 40 bucks. Okay. Let's see now. Make sure the camera's at a good angle. Sorry, get a chop lip. I've had chop lips since the 6th grade. Or 5th grade. So there is the chicken. I'm hoping you could see that pretty well. Yeah, they do. Hey, Peachy Pat. I don't recall you being on one of the shows before, so if this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, I have to try the crispier looking one first, because that's just how I am. And the one thing about doing live wings, ooh, that is hot, is that's got a good taste. What does that matter? What's that taste like? Oh, that's hot. Normally the lunch videos, anyone here, the regulars will tell you, ends up being an hour, but we're making good time today. And I need to keep from burning myself. Oh, you know what? That's pretty good. And even though the shell is crispy, it's delicious. And it's cooked and it's juicy inside. You know me, I like to lick those fingers on the camera. Wings, honestly, they're good. This mustard, the honey mustard, I don't know how it would taste different with the French's. Maybe that's something to think about next time. These, I can't describe the taste. It doesn't taste like honey mustard. Well, for me, I've had this taste before. It tastes more grilled to me, like on a well, I have a gas grill, on the gas grill. So the total cook time, I turned it on just to preheat it for 2 minutes, so it was at 13 minutes, and the timer is out. So I would say we did about 13 minutes and flipped in between. These wings were pretty small. Usually they're bigger than this. They're good. Donna made an appearance to, yeah, grab a plate. You can't. Grab a bowl. Watch it, wait, you step and I dropped the lid. Hopefully she likes it. It doesn't taste like honey mustard. I know this is, and I know some things I will make, and you'll hear me say, it wasn't bad, but I don't think I make it again. I would make these again. Next time I'll try them with the regular French's mustard, I think. Hot. Very juicy. They have a great taste. And that's, honestly, I would make these again. So, I'm going to call this a success.
Yeah, these are good.
Donna likes them. She likes honey mustard in general, so I figured she would probably like it more than me. But I wish I'd made maybe a dozen of these. I would have ate them, no problem. Of course, look at me. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me. There are some other channels in here, you know, please stop by, look at the Kirby's and Suburban's channel. I'm trying to see who else I might have missed. Again, please subscribe to my Facebook page. Again, it was originally shut down and I had to starting from scratch again. It's called mariosdomain, so you can find that on Facebook, Instagram, I think Twitter, although Twitter doesn't show you much in general. Also Google+. You can find me under there, under my name, or under MMM Works. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you coming by. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. It does make a difference. It does matter to me. I appreciate when you do. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm putting out a new video or if I'm going live like I did today unexpectedly. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everybody. David, Juliana. Yeah, Kirby's live is Saturday live breakfast. Put your fat pants on, or what it was called. That's great. Juliana, Suburban, David, Peachy Pat. See if I can get everybody. Carol, and Kirby, and Mr. Krasker, and Neil. I appreciate you all stopping in, and I will see you on the next one. The air fryer is unplugged, in case you're wondering. See you later. You can have that half if you want. Yes, David, smash that like.